Excellencies, all distinguished ministers and representatives of civil society, media, and international organizations, dear agriculture representatives, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for this invitation and unique opportunity to be here today to deliver a speech and discuss with you on such an important topic as it is food sustainability. Serious obstacles related to international agriculture trade started with the COVID-19 pandemic. Their transport routes have been disrupted, and many countries in the region and beyond have started implementation additional control measures in the border. That causes serious difficulties in export and import of both inputs and final production. Although by 2021, most of the obstacles in international transport related to COVID-19 started to get back to normality, the new crisis caused by the Russian military attack in Ukraine brought back the problems and difficulties. With all the concern and problems that are now in Ukraine, there in Southeastern Europe, we are also going through the consequences of this criminal aggression of Russia, particularly in very important topic as it is food security and a growing concern over increasing in food inequality. Taking into consideration that Ukraine and Russia were two of the biggest producers of seed and fertilizer, now with the conflict and disruption of the supply chain that have pushed up the price of grains, fertilizer, and energy, our agriculture sector was also directly affected due to highest input price. For instance, the agriculture inputs price have increased by 100% on average, and in some occasions even up to 300%, such as the price of fertilizer. Agriculture is one of the main sectors of the economy in Kosovo, which contributes to the overall economy development by 8% of the overall GDP. This sector provides employment to nearly 23% of the total number of employees in Kosovo. Therefore, as a government and as the Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Rural Development, we see this sector as a potential one in offering real opportunities for alleviating poverty, generating new jobs, and enable the creation of sustainable incomes for residents living in rural area and beyond. Science, investment, and development are important in this sensitive moment to create better solutions which serve better for our citizens and in order to provide food security. Reducing inequality and alleviating poverty is one of our main priorities. Therefore, together with my colleagues from the government, but my team, we are working closely to identify action needs to adapt food system to sustainable development and enhance food security parallelly. As the International Monetary Fund is predicting that the recession may become even bigger, this may cause that more people will survive to the chronic hunger. Therefore, we need to work hand in hand with policy leaders and with producers. For this sustainable development and agriculture sector, the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Rural Development have developed a number of policy and strategies that are oriented toward continued support for the stimulation of farming in achieving the best result in agriculture production by creating the most favorable environment for development. We have published the Strategy for Agriculture and Rural Development 2022-2028, which aim to develop the agro-rural sector competitive and innovative, based on knowledge, technology, and modern standards. The strategy is based on 4 main objectives: through which the transformation of the rural economy is aimed at, making it more competitive, more productive, sustainable, and more comprehensive in the international and the external market. Witnessing the current situation, as point pandemic impact and decreasing number of the workforce in the agriculture sector, especially among young people, we have focused to track the biggest needs in agriculture sector, starting from adjusting the mechanism for subsidies and grants to continue making effort in creating stability in every link of the circle of the agriculture producer chain, in which case it will be possible to ensure sustainable production and supply. Comparing to the most government of the neighbors, we are an example in the region and perhaps even further for increasing support for farmers through the program of direct payment or subsidies. We doubled in 2022 the budget dedicated for agriculture. In this case, we are speaking for direct payment. To some strategic producers such as wheat, corn, potatoes, beans, and the financial support goes up to 100%, comparing with previous year. For instance, for wheat, the increase in budget was up to 2016%, corn 119%, potatoes and beans 108%, etc. We are working hand in hand with our minister and private companies to stimulate local production. For instance, when it's come to trade, comparing it to the last year, our data show that we have increase in export for agriculture producer until 25%. Parallelly, we are working on increasing our state reserve to main agriculture production, and for this we have allocated additional budget. As I mentioned before, since the investment and development are another factor that we focus on, we believe that technology enables automatization of administrative procedure for agriculture, but it helps us, a government, to expand our services to the farmer, manage risk, and improve environment, social, and economic sustainability. We work closely to reduce administrative burden for farmers who want to benefit from grants and subsidies, and not only. Additionally, we are in a process of preparation to create digital cadastre for forestry and for fruits, which will help us in better management of this important subsector. We have already in place a digital cadastre for winery that enable us to have a clear picture of the situation in the subsector. In sum, digital technology and innovation offer many opportunities but many challenges. However, we believe strongly that the efforts are worth it, as it is the future of agriculture. But at the same time, our hopes are that digital agriculture can also ensure that the young may become more attractive and drive to this sector. Let me only extend again my gratitude for the organizer of this forum, and I hope such debates that touch up the issue of agriculture and food sustainability will only continue further in the future. It was a really pleasure. Thank you very much for your attention.